So when you're on a showing with a client, are there any like hidden red flags that you look for in a home that they may miss or often do miss?
Oh God, yeah. Some of the viewers probably know I have a construction background, and so my brain is always looking for things. We went to a house. God, it was only just a few months ago. One of my former clients called me and they wanted to buy a rental property, and we went and looked at the single family, and I think it was in New Canaan or something like that. I walk into the dining room of this house, and for older houses, as to some people this may bother them, but it's not that uncommon for the floors to be a bit wavy depending on the vintage of the house. I walked in this house and this was very dramatic. I mean, it was just like, it pulled you across the room. You know what I mean? And I thought, oh my God. And I could see the hardwood floors were opened up. And then of course I brought it to the buyer's attention, and I started looking around. And at some point, the corner of the foundation of this house sunk probably 8 inches, 9 inches, maybe. I mean, I could see in the basement, there was a huge gap between the bottom of the foundation and the house. And what they had done is they had come in and driven a piling in the earth because the ground was too soft, and put a steel beam in that probably was like 30 feet long from this piling up underneath the house to hold the house to keep it from sinking in the back. But that one thing, noticing that floor sort of dip off in the corner was the trigger point for me to go looking for why. And that's sort of an extreme example. However, that's the kind of thing that I'm sort of keeping an eye out for. Yeah. Obviously, most things are more minimal than that, but you're looking for certain attributes that are signs of bigger problems. And of course, you don't have a ton of time. During the inspection is really the more detailed, thorough time to be able to find these type of things. But we certainly want to avoid those houses. Just from the get-go.
Nix them off the bat.
What's the point of spending all this money on inspections and everything to find out stuff like this later and waste your time, energy, emotion, all that? You might as well just stay focused on trying to find a better house. And let's just brush that one aside.
Are there any other red flags that are maybe a bit more subtle to look out for?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, because I think what you're asking me is more of an intuitive awareness it's just really difficult. It's not like there's a common thing that we're constantly finding over and over. It's just sort of being astute to certain things and what they mean. And honestly, it goes both ways. I have clients come up to me oftentimes and they'll go over to the wall and there's a crack in the wall, and they'll ask me whether they think that it's a structural issue. And overwhelmingly, that's not. That's an expansion and contraction issue and the way the house is built, and it's fairly common. So understanding what is a common issue and what really is a non-issue and what is a real issue, that's a tough thing to really put to words. Yeah. It's just an experience thing that, I bring to the table that can help them. Quite frankly, we move past these houses faster and stay focused on the ones that are better. And I think my inspector would say that we generally have really good houses at inspection time because we're wiping off a lot of the junk.